Pleased to be joined by Nick Colas. He is co-founder of DataTrek Research, and he joins us now to talk about what else? Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies. It's not just Bitcoin. Litecoin doubled in one day a couple of weeks ago. I think it's up 7,000% this year. Ethereum and Ether, its offshoot, also soaring this year. I'm going to call it a craze, and I don't mean that in a negative way, Nick, because it certainly is a craze. How do you think this all ends?
Well, it is clear that all the enthusiasm around Bitcoin earlier in the year has now morphed into a general craze, if you will, for all things crypto. And I think of Bitcoin as kind of the gateway drug to all this. People got hooked on Bitcoin and trading Bitcoin, but it's led to other things, and that's where we are today. I think for the balance of the year and into next year, we're going to be talking a lot more about which cryptocurrency kind of in the top 50 has the juice at the moment, and that'll be the one that rallies. What I see is a lot more cycling of money within the crypto universe as much as bringing new money in. I think we'll still bring some new money in, but it'll be a lot more rotation, just like we have in the stock market.
You know, the way I described it at a dinner party a couple of days ago was that blockchain was the tracks and that the currencies, the coins, were the trains of 150 years ago. There were a couple hundred train companies at the turn of the century. Most of them went under. A few big ones survived, bought up the scraps of the rest. Do you think that's what this is going to be like, Nick? And who do you think might be left standing if that is indeed the case?
Yeah, it feels more like you're going to see some coins just kind of get traded into oblivion because nobody really cares. And a lot of the tokens feel that way at the moment. There's a lot of white papers out there and a lot of people with big ideas, but there's a real shortage of software talent, coding talent that can actually make these things come true. So it'll be more of a winner take most or winner take all, and you'll need to get some critical size, at least a couple $100 million in market cap, to have your coin be taken seriously. So it's going to be kind of a slow grinding consolidation. Instead of train companies buying other train companies, it'll just be those businesses going out of business and somebody else running on the same tracks.
But what about, let's take I don't want to be negative on Bitcoin or any of the other ones. Let's take the bullish side. What do you make of this argument, which is, let's say there's 80 trillion in money and money substitutes and gold and whatever floating around the globe. That's about the estimates that a lot of folks have. It's possible to know for sure, but that's the macro estimate. If there's 21 million Bitcoin and they just take 1% of that global money supply, you could make an argument for a Bitcoin price much higher than what we have today.
Yeah, I definitely feel that's a reasonable comparison. The one that I use is just how many $100 bills are out there. There's $1.1 trillion worth of $100 bills, and most of them circulate around the world, not here in the U.S. And I think that's the more relevant comp in the near term. Current crypto market cap, around $600 billion. So we aren't even yet at levels where just one major currency, the U.S. dollar, has its physical representation of the world. So on that basis, either on my comp or yours, it does feel like we have more room to go.
On Power Lunch the other day, we mentioned a Chinese company that used to be a fruit juice company, literally still is a fruit juice company, that changed its name to some sort of fintech type name. And we just mentioned it, that they used to be a fruit juice company. The stock doubled in minutes after we talked about them. Obviously, that was not our intent. It was to me, that kind of stuff is not good on any level. What do you make about all these micro cap stocks that are popping up, throwing a crypto or a blockchain or a Bitcoin into their names and basically selling investors that?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, obviously, and anybody watching should be very careful looking at any of these names, particularly in the micro and small cap area, because it is getting caught up in the same mania. People have seen cryptocurrencies, as you said, go 100% up in a matter of weeks, and they think the stocks can do the same thing, but it is very different. The stocks have to have an underlying business principle today. The cryptos are getting given a lot more in terms of a future runway, so they're not the same thing at all, and please be very careful.
We'll leave it at that. Nick Colas, DataTrek Research. We appreciate it, Nick. As always, your insight, very valuable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.